Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. This might end up having to be a slightly blurred out video. I'm working on the Atari Jaguar to 5200 controller conversion. So I'll go through some of the steps here. I probably have to blur out some of it. So it starts with a Atari Jaguar controller. In this case, someone purchased two of them. So what I do is I use a Atari Jaguar controller and then Neo Geo cables. Let me see. That's fine. Which is the 5200 uses a full-sized DB15 connector, which is this guy here. That's a DB15, D-shell 15-pin, full-size, 100,000 spacing. So let's take one of these apart, in case anyone's ever wondering what's inside of a Jaguar controller. Really simple build on the very solid controller. It's got a real Atari Lynx look to it, which I really enjoy. Atari Lynx 2, I should say, look to it. That screw is not going to turn. Okay. Let's try this one. I got a screw I don't want to turn. Screws, the bottom screws are a little longer than the top screws. Why? I don't know. There we go. So inside the controller itself is there's two. There's a gray button board and a black button. The grays are the, I don't know if they're the newer or the older one. I think that they're actually the newer one. So the mod work I do, let me finish cleaning the other one up. Well, I'll finish showing this one for now. So there's this also uses a DB15 but a smaller spacing. They didn't use all the wires either. So this one is going to go away. Don't need this anymore. Save some of these wires. This is junk. I have so many of these cords. It's not even funny. So the Jaguar itself is I don't even need to, when I'm doing this modification, I don't even need to remove this lower board here, and then this upper board here is the I have to modify. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show all the modifications I'm going to do it because it's something I worked out myself. And if I get out of the business entirely, I will release it, open source it. But for now, I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. That wasn't good. A lot of times I don't even have to bother taking these buttons out, but we'll do it this time. Actually, go down here with them. I don't usually take those out, so I have to end up desoldering all this and then soldering some other connections in here, and then I also have to solder connections down here. Fortunately, I don't want to show too much. You can see the controller itself is actually kind of a neat layout here. It does have a 15, a ribbon cable that goes to the bottom. Stuff keeps flying everywhere. The board itself is pretty simple. Turn my iron on. Okay, so the board, let this get set aside a minute. This will get set aside, so I don't need it. So I'm going to have to do some modification work to this board here. I have to desolder this entire header here. And then that down on the bottom board of the Jaguar is there is a multiplexer chip that helps decode the keypad on it. So, well, I think I'm going to have to keep this video a little short or very blurry. But I think I'm just going to keep it short because I'm just going to knock this out and I'll show the results at the end. So it's just a quick one tonight. So I'm going to knock out 2 of these controllers because someone paid for them. What I do is I don't keep these. I keep the parts on hand, but I don't keep them. I don't have them made up ahead of time, so I like making them fresh, and then take a little field trip over to my family room and try them out on my 5200. I do actually have a 5200. I don't have a lot of retro systems, but that's one of them I do have. And I'll test it out. So I'll test that out later. Again, snip this off. Reuse those wires. I feel like a Mythbusters episode where they made explosives. We're going to mix blur with blur. And it's kind of similar to that. The 5200 actually used a true potentiometer, resistance-based input. So figuring out how to trick it and work properly is something that took me a little while to figure out. I have been working on an analog controller, but I haven't touched that in a long time. And there's some other guys out there, or well, I don't know, I assume they're guys, maybe they're women, I don't know, working on analog ones, and they've actually released them. So I'm not going to tread on their work. They can have that market. I'm fine with it. I just like to specialize in this little guy here. Okay, this guy's almost apart. So I got 2 of these. I have to desolder these in a minute, and then I'm going to go and let's put aside. I don't need this right now. I'm going to work on desoldering these. I could probably do that now. There's nothing too proprietary about desoldering. I had a brand new solder sucker. Let's see how it is. Oh wow, that's good. That one's snappy. This one's got some bite to it. Nice. I like not fighting my tools. Man, I'm not sure how many of these I've made already. I think at least 20, maybe? Yeah, I think at least 20 of these suckers over the last couple of years. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna... I've never really got the analog working one quite right, so I haven't given up on it yet, but I know there's other people who are making money on it, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if I got all the pins or not. Oh, one of them's a little gets stuck. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it should just come right out. It takes a good, I don't know, half an hour controller, maybe a little longer than that. If I'm doing a bunch of them on a row, I can get the time down pretty quick, but when I'm just doing onesie twosies like this, it takes a bit longer. It's been up and down on the 5200 controller. I get a bunch of orders and then it dies down a while. I get a bunch of orders and it dies down a while. This is yet another order from Canada. I think this is at least my third or fourth Canadian order. I guess the 5200 must have been popular in Canada. I never had one when I was a kid. The one I have now was donated by my younger brother, who really doesn't have the room for it in his basement, so thanks, Mike. Actually, the one I have is one I originally modded for him, where I added a AV and S video out to it instead of the RF out. Fuzzies. Okay. What is going on here? What is that fuzz? I always preferred solder suckers to solder wick. Personal preference kind of thing. Nice. I don't have a professional solder remover station. Alright, so that is it for this. And then I need to cut some traces here and bridge some traces there, and kind of have to stop the video for now, or I will reveal too much and I have to kill you. So everyone, thanks for watching, and next video maybe I'll show a demonstration of one of these guys in action, so when I do the test run. So yeah, everyone, thanks for watching, and I gotta keep working on this.